So here we go.
What up? What up? What up, world? We are back. We are here. Week 14 is done. It is officially playoff time. I'm Anthony, aka Rasta. This is Get Right Fantasy Network. I'm here with my boy Frank. What's up, Frank?
What's up, peoples? We're done. This is
It's
it.
here.
We're into the playoffs. It doesn't matter what league you're in. Either you play on to the end or you start
Got
now.
yourself a nice bye,
But
whatever
you're
it
in.
is, but it's
You're in.
here.
Yeah, it's
It,
happening.
and on
You know,
a sad note, the fantasy
question
season's
is, did you
over.
get in or did you not get in? Are you in the playoff or you're
Yeah,
not in the playoff?
sometimes,
No, I'm
man.
just
This
saying
is
in general to the public. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's what I mean. It's either you're in right now, you're feeling good, you're on one like them boys in here.
Yeah.
It's what it is. Dylan's in here saying 3-game losing streak heading into the playoffs. Pray for me, y'all. So again, are you coming in strong? Are you coming in weak? Did you just barely scrape in? Are you on a high run? Are you riding a nice winning streak? Can you
Oh,
still
look at
win
this one.
2 or 3 out?
For
We
you,
got
Malik.
Sufayan. What's up, man? Go ahead, read it out.
So sad scored third most points in a 12-man league, finished ninth, didn't have a chance to control my own destiny, and had to rely on last place beating eighth. Really sucks. Ah,
Oh, man.
yeah, that's a
So,
heartbreaker. You're
it's
in there.
tough, man. It's all there, man. Either you won, you lost. Myself, I made it 4 out of my 5 leagues. Um, I'm pretty happy. I'm on a high one right now, and the listener league was the only one I wasn't clinched on, as we were talking about this time last week. Shout out to my goats, who will read off his interesting stats today. He didn't drop one today. He's probably in a little bit bad of a mood, so I apologize, my guy, but I had to handle business, my guy. I mean, I had to represent and get in the playoffs. At least one of us had to get in the playoffs from the Get Right crew. So I'm
Right?
holding down for
Somebody's
all
got to
4
do
of us.
something.
Cause yeah, man, y'all finished at the bottom, man. We're gonna have a little consult after this. I don't know if you guys are qualified here to be on the show. If you're down on the bottom of the barrel there, what's up, D? I
It's all
see you
part of the
guys down
plan
there.
in the long-term plan in the other the main leagues, or the long league, which is what it is, dude. I took an easy approach. I try to balance the team, which maybe comes from my Libra side. And I was like, I want an even balanced team, a team that has some young pieces and some pieces now that could help, but mostly try to go with youth because it is a dynasty league. So you try to get the youth early as, but you
Oh,
like
that
you
one
did, you went,
I'm in dead
yeah,
last. Yeah, no, I went 1
yeah,
and 12 in
exactly. And
that
you
one.
went
That's
like fucking
that's
full
my
on.
that's my 1 out of 5.
Yeah, but
So we won't talk
I
about
did
that.
beat Dustin. Dustin did lose to me in the last game. I do believe. I'm gonna pull up the score here.
Yeah,
I'm on
in
there
the
somewhere.
actual listener league, the redraft, you got him 145 to 111. You guys faced off for like the last place bowl down there. I think you guys are in like, you know, 10th
Yeah.
or 11th place or something like that. I mean, come on, guys. What's going on here? What's going on?
We got
No, I'm
sharks in
just
these waters, man. We got sharks in
it
these
is.
waters. We didn't just play with a bunch of chumps. That's the reality of it. And people were trying to win. And honestly,
You got
I was
Target on your
taken
back,
aback about
man.
a couple
You
things
guys
in the league. This is my first dynasty league. I've never entered in one
No,
before.
we're not even talking
And
about the dynasty one. We're
well, I
talking
want to
about the
talk about it
listener
because I
league.
think it's interesting.
Well, we're talking about the listener league. That's the one we're talking about
All
that
right,
you're
which one's
last
that?
in, that I'm
The one
telling you
that
guys that.
I didn't end up last in that. So that's all I got to say about that.
It's all good. It's all good. Anyway, so Sufyan says, I mean, if we was bottom 3 in scoring, I'd be like, all right, yeah, but third in the league in scoring and not even inflated. It was just consistent every week. So that's what happens sometimes, man, and that's why I like those boomer bust type guys. Because when they boom, you get yourself wins. If you have those teams that you're always just consistent scoring, you're playing against a boom team, and if they boom that week, you can find yourself in this exact situation where, yeah, overall you scored consistent every week, but you never had a good enough game to, knock someone else out that was having a good game. And, again, just depends on how you choose to play your fantasy football. So, I'm go big or go home, man. As you know. Uh, if you're not first, you're last, man. Just go for it or why not? So, all right, anyway, so let's move on here a little bit. Just a quick plug for those of you guys who know, we have our website
Oh wow. I was just
www.getrightff.com.
checking the listener league that you told me to check. And Chivo will be the last place guy. Our champ.
Oh,
Undefeated. Our GOAT got defeated by me to make sure I put the
oh, you
stamp
you just
on
put them
the
on
last place.
last, huh? There it is. Well,
So I
that's
mean,
tough
I
for
don't
you
need to
guys.
be first. I just don't got to finish last. You know what I'm saying?
There it is. He's trying to not be last. So,
Sorry, Dustin.
man,
It's all
it's
bad.
all good. It happens,
Much
man.
love.
No, that league was brutal. Can't wait for the draft already for that one next year.
Yeah.
So for those of you guys who are watching, we'll figure out which way we have to go. Obviously, whoever wins that league, if it's not me, I was gonna say get right person, they're gonna have to guarantee them spot, their place next year. And then we'll figure out how we're gonna give away those other spots
Oh, they're gonna
next
have to do
year.
something this year. You're
Yeah.
cracking me up, dude. You guys cracking me up, dude.
Oh, it's
Look at
crazy
them
in
boys.
here.
Them boys is on it. He said,
What up,
he
Wilson?
said, "Show me this line of notices. Put my hat on again."
Hey, I had to sneak it on, man. It's a good show. I'm excited. It's been a good week. I had to represent. It's just it is what it is, man. Enjoy it. Just turn me off, put me in your pocket, use that YouTube premium. You could just listen. Uh
Look, I don't know
or
about
just
you guys,
imagine
but
a
I'm
star on there.
happy because in my most importantly, the one I'm trying to repeat in, I really went from sitting outside of the playoff spots to moving up to fifth, and I'm in the playoffs. Literally
Very
went from
nice.
outside to the inside and moved everybody from there down like perfectly. It was like
Nice.
you couldn't have done it any better, and that's why I'm so
It
stoked
worked out.
because hey, if the only league I want to get in back in it, I'm trying to get the repeat. I know Anthony,
You're gonna have to
everybody
go
else
through
trying to
me.
win too,
You're gonna have to go through
but
me.
we're not playing each other the first week, so it's gonna be week 2. I
Yeah.
predicted already. We're gonna play week 2.
Oh, there it
We'll see
is.
how
He's
it goes
calling
from
his
there.
shot
We're
now. He's
talking about it.
calling his shot. We'll keep you
We'll see how
posted.
it goes from there. That's all I'm saying. We're playing week 2 though.
There it is. He's guaranteeing it. I'd rather see you in the finals. You know what I mean? Like
It's
if we
gonna
have to
work out that way.
lose,
Just the
like that
brackets, the
lose
way the
Tuesday.
bracket's gonna laid out, we're gonna pay week 2. We have
All
to.
right.
You
Well,
know what
there
I
it
mean?
is.
Like the way it's gonna work out.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's
So
not
them
what I'm.
boys are saying
Would I rather pay on the playoffs? Yes, of course. The final, yes, of course. Well, I'm just saying it's just gonna happen that way.
that's the way
It's
it's gonna
not
work
that
out.
we have to a choice in the matter at this point.
Exactly. Them boys are saying Classic was in first at one point, now is out of the playoffs, so at least they weren't in that position, Frank. Yeah. So Mike was holding it
Yeah.
down, talking all that mess at first, and just missed the playoffs there. Just missed the playoffs. So it'll be interesting. So that was a fun league. If you guys are interested, I'll post the pictures of the final results. I don't know why we weren't putting that in there all year, but we will next year for sure. Keep everybody updated on the matchups and the scores, as we go along in that listener league. And of course, if you want to be a part of it, let us know, and we'll figure out how we're going to do that again this year. Drew's in the house. What's up, Drew? Saying Dak has essentially lost me 3 out of the last 4 weeks. Should I look for other options at quarterback? So we're definitely going to talk about some quarterbacks here in the rest of the show.
Wow.
There's definitely some out there, someone maybe like
Seriously,
a
that sucks.
Taysom Hill, someone like a Taysom Hill, maybe a Gardner Minshew.
Minshew?
These are
What?
these are guys. Maybe are we gonna sit? Are we gonna sit someone like Dak for someone like that? So stay tuned. We're gonna get into that here for sure. He's saying he is in a 1 QB league, so we're gonna get into
Yes,
some of
we
these
are.
guys
We
that
are
might be
also.
out there.
Most of my leagues are 1 QB.
Yeah, so we'll see how it is. So Drunk Squidward in the house. He's saying I'm in the playoffs since last week. No sweat. I lost, but no seed move. So I was like
Oh,
that
you're
in our
good.
other listener league,
Didn't
the
matter.
got left.
You're one of
Yeah,
the
the
no
got
matter. I
left
don't
league.
care if I win or lose. That's a
I
good
lost
place
it.
to be in.
Yeah, still getting the first round bye in our the got left listener league. So, instead of get right, it's got left since it's the other league. So yeah, so I'm sitting made the playoffs in both our listener leagues. So pretty happy about that. In the other league, I'm the only one from the show, so I had a big target on my back, but
Yeah.
I kind of ran through it. So
Anthony's
but
holding
my
it down
team,
literally for all of us. Sorry about that.
yeah, for the
Got
whole
a
show.
message.
It's all good.
See how with some
It's
people here.
No, it's all good. So he's saying it's a PPR 8-man league. So those are real man's leagues, man, right there. Eight people. You got to be on top of your stuff. You got to be able to manage your team because there's always good options out there. So you got to hit those guys who are gonna score big. So Jonah Archmage Eternals in the house. What's up, Jonah? Saying playoffs for my league start after next week. 1 and 2 are locked, but 3 through 5 are a win and median point apart. So next week is going to be really intense. He's hoping to come in at top 3 or 4. So good luck. Obviously, there are some other different quirks on how people's playoffs run. Obviously, a ton of different leagues out there. So of course we're
Yeah.
talking to all the ones that just have the kind of bye week, and then the next 2 rounds. Other people are play just a 4-team playoff. We play in 6 and even 18 playoff leagues as well too. So just depending on how it is, that's where it is. And Dim Boy's agreeing, Taysom, if he's available, Drew. So again, he's definitely one of those names we're going to talk about. Shout out to our own Mike here on the show. He was beating that Taysom drum, and I guess I might have to be a
Taysom, he
believer.
is available for. I did start Taysom, dude. I've been a Taysom owner. You know who I want to get a shout out to?
Do it. It's your show, Frank. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. Who do you think I want to give it a shout out to?
Ooh, say it.
Rashad Penny. What's
Do it.
up? Pulled him
Waiver
off the waiver
wire.
wire. Started that boy at 28.80. If you ain't doing that kind of move to get yourself into the playoffs, you ain't trying to win. Just saying.
There it is. He's just saying, guys, Rashad Penny, probably the number one hot item
Of the
on the
week.
week.
Get him out. I already
I
got him
had the
last week. I
know-how.
started him.
Ooh, see, I had the know-how to pick him up. I just could not find him in my lineup. I played Jeff Wilson over him. I still pulled out the win because the rest of my team went off, including Dalvin Cook, who we'll get into here. But it was you know, definitely a nice move to actually throw him in there with what we knew heading into
Oh
the
yeah.
week. So,
Hey, I
but
was sitting
again,
at
we
Greg's
on the
house,
last show
our
we actually
boys,
laughed
and
at
Greg's
you.
like, Frank, you're doing
We
this
saw
move,
you
you
make
pulled
that
up this
move.
move. They were
Yeah,
like, you're doing what? I won both in both of those leagues coming out of nowhere, helping people out even. I mean, I'm out of one of them, but the other one it literally moved from out of the playoffs into 5th place.
yeah. So we'll see if
One
you
week.
can
That's all it takes.
raise the
And I even
stink
hey,
there.
remember I posted that it ain't over?
Yeah,
Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
exactly. So he's definitely a
It ain't
guy you
over.
can look out for if he's there. Obviously, I have to, again, preface it with it's the first time we've seen him take that type of workload and make it through the game. So be
It doesn't
very, very
matter.
careful.
Okay,
Buyer
okay.
beware. Um,
He's
just
playing the
be
Rams next. It's not gonna look good.
yeah. So just
It was a
just
one
be
week, dude.
careful.
I'm playing daily fantasy now. For going on out, throwing players in there. Let's see if we can crack that code.
That's all it is, man. So on that note, let's just kind of stick with it. Let's talk about our perfect lineup. What do we call it? The get right lineup or
Let's get
Dustin's
right.
get right lineup or something like that of the week. It's the perfect lineup, the top producers of the week. Coming in at
Yes.
number 1 at the QB spot, Josh Allen with 39.22 points in a 6-point per passing touchdown league. We have Devontae Adams as the wide receiver 1 of the week. As we all know, 34.1 points in a PPR. Then we have Cooper Cup, as we saw tonight, coming in at wide receiver 2, 31.3. And what's funny, as we were talking in the game, I was mentioning, how do the receivers fall next year? And that's the exact order as I had it. Adams and Cup, I think, is how I'm leaning next year. Coming in at number 3, a guy we were talking about on Friday, Mike and I, Hunter Renfro, coming in at 28.7 points if you're in a 3 wide receiver league or a flex league.
That's a
Then
nice
we
little
have your
slow pick right
RB1
there,
of the
right there.
week.
Hunter Renfro waiting on him.
Yeah, absolutely. Waiver wire guy coming in at your number 3 wide receiver of the week. Dalvin Cook, RB1, 35.2 points. We saw him go off on
Killing it.
Thursday, and no one caught him.
Are you kidding me?
Until tonight. Yeah, James Conner got close. He came in as RB2 of the week. So nobody that played on Sunday came close to RB1 or RB2. Both of those guys scoring in the 30s, as I mentioned. And then as an honorable mention, your RB3 of the week, of course, Rashad Penny with 26.8 points in a PPR. And then yours truly's tight end 1 of the week for the second week in a row.
Kittle?
The one, the only George, the man, Kittle.
Did you start him?
The guy's just a beast. No, he got 24 points,
on your
34.1 in a PPR on my bench. So
Yeah,
I started Travis Kelce instead.
wanna
Gave me
point
a
that out.
whopping, yeah,
'Cause
gave
I
me
know
a
you
whopping
started Kelce,
2.6.
and now you did the same that
Yeah.
I did. I started Kelce, and how much did you get with Kelce?
Yeah, 2.6, man. So something's telling me I should have traded Kelce.
And
while
this
I
is
had
for
the
coming
chance
from the
to
guy
maybe
with
on
the
the deadline.
49er hat on. Let me watching the show right now. Can't even ride with his own freaking guy and putting those points on the bench.
Because
waiting
I'm
for Kelce to
playing
get better.
Debo and Elijah
I don't
Mitchell
care.
and the
I don't
Niners
care.
defense.
Either
I
you ride
can't
with your
start
team or
the
not,
entire
dude. Are you a
team.
rider or not? Like, what are we talking about
No,
here?
we can't.
He's
We
not a
can't
rider.
do all that.
He's
We
not a
can't
rider,
do all
guys.
that.
You guys know what I'm talking about, damn boys, right? Either
They all
rider or not, right?
They all just fell to me, man. I hate playing that many people from the same team, man. But they're producing, man. So I
He's
can't
not a
really
rider, dude. I'm just showing you, he's not a rider.
Can't really do it. So let's get into some questions here. We have Jonah. He's saying, is Ryan Tannehill worth picking up with Josh Allen being injured? So we have Josh Allen dealing with a foot sprain. He was in a walking boot. So we'll see how he goes throughout the week. Obviously, we won't see him practice Wednesday. They're saying there's a chance he plays Sunday. But as of now, I would expect to, make other
I
arrangements.
would ask Jonah who else is out there besides Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah,
Kind of get a better feel. I'm not saying that Ryan Tannehill's not a good choice or a bad choice. I just don't know what other options you have. So give me your other QBs that are out there, and that might, you might be surprised who we go with for a week. You might stream somebody for 1 week, and it's all you need. You know what I mean? So
Yes. So we have the Titans going against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Right now, the Steelers are 22nd in points
best
allowed
defense. Yeah.
to quarterbacks.
Against quarterbacks,
So,
quarterbacks.
they're only allowing on average about 21 points to quarterbacks. So, but Tannehill's, kind of banged up. Obviously no Henry. We saw Julio Jones come back. He actually made it through a game, wasn't very effective. So again, I'd like to see who else is kind of, out there. So Wilson in the house saying Rashad's worth every penny.
Oh yeah,
Very nice.
Rashad.
Very nice. There should be better options, Jonas. So
Yeah,
Tim
see,
Boys is
he
agreeing
knows
with
what
you,
I'm talking
Frank.
about. It's like, let me
So
know who you
he's
got. Who else you got out there?
exactly. So Drunk Squidward saying, as a Seahawks fan, I'm shocked, but great move since that Texans defense is super bad at stopping the run. So yeah, we should have known just based on that matchup. We were all just afraid he'd pull a Raheem Mostert on us and take 2 carries and be done for the season. So
Yeah, fall down and break himself.
yeah, it's been one of those times. So
Yeah.
obviously hindsight 2020, but no one saw that except for Frank. Frank said get it in there. He was in dire straits at
I did
RB.
that.
So
I did that.
there we go. Fields and Big Ben are also available in my league. If it's 6 point, I might and maybe even more so in 4
I
point.
start Big Ben.
I like I like both of those options honestly over Tannehill.
Yeah.
And
Hit 'em
if I
up.
had to choose between the two, I mean, what did Fields end up scoring this week? Because he didn't. I watched a lot of that game for whatever reason,
I watched
and
both of these games. And Ben's still balling out, dude. Deontay
I mean,
Johnson's still his friend. They're just he still has to do
it's
what he
just
has to
it's
do.
ugly. It's
It
just
doesn't
ugly.
look good. Yeah. Oh, it doesn't look
And
good
at the
at
end
all.
of the day,
No,
at the end of the
he
day,
gets
if
the
you just
job
look at
done.
the stats, Yeah, it's
Yeah.
there. So
The
Justin Fields
numbers are
goes
there,
8.
dude. The numbers don't lie. Year after year and time after time, go with the guy you know. That's what I got to
Yeah,
say about that.
I don't know, man. It's playoff time. And this is why too. It's
And
a
that's
tough
my whole
choice.
point. You don't be
Yeah,
failing. He's not a choker. Big Ben is not a choker. You don't know what Fields might do, but Big Ben doesn't choke. They may lose the
yeah.
game, but it wasn't because of him most of the time.
So Justin Fields goes 18 for 33 for 224 and 2 touchdowns. He does have 2 picks, but kind of makes up for it on the ground with 9 carries for 74 yards on the ground. Comes in at 18.36 points. Ends up with 22.36 in a 6-point per passing league. I mean, he's doing all right. I mean, I hate to again kind of put my playoff stakes in a rookie like that who hasn't really strung together that many games, like you said, versus going with Big Ben. But we do have
Hey,
again,
Big Ben,
he's going against that
28 for
Titans
40.
defense, which isn't great.
Yeah, he's going
Um,
against Tennessee next. 28 for 40, 308 yards, one rush, 5 yards, three touchdowns, one INT.
yeah, and but then you have
He has
Justin Fields
300
going
yards
against
and
the
three
Vikings on
touchdowns.
Monday. So you have Justin Fields going against the Vikings on Monday. So, they just gave up those,
The
30 points to Big
Vikings?
Ben. Yeah. Who he
Yeah, they're
just
the
gave up
ones
all
that
those
just give up
points to.
some ass. But it's not the
So,
same, dude. It's not the
yeah,
same.
Jonah, come back on Friday,
Go
man,
with Big
once I
Ben.
do more research on it, and,
No,
there
go
it
with Big
is.
Ben. There's no
So,
research needed. Go with Big Ben.
I don't know, that's a little closer to me, but Frank's saying go with Big Ben. He started Rashad Penny, so hey, go with him, I guess. You didn't wanna listen to the roster reaper. Go opposite of what
Get
I
it
said.
right lineup. That it is. That's what it's called. Good
There we
looking
go, the
out
get
there,
it
boys.
right
We don't even
lineup.
know. Drunk Frank didn't run with this tonight, so we're gonna go with get it right lineup.
There it is. Got it right lineup. George Kittle fire, absolutely drunk Skidward as we were
Oh,
talking about.
didn't fix that.
Dim Boys was
Get it
saying
right.
he would actually go Tannehill over those 2. Drunk Squidward saying I
Really?
need to start Kittle every week. Squidward, do you start Kittle over Kelsey at this point, especially next week? I mean, he
Heck
was
yeah,
going up
you do.
against the best,
Heck yeah,
the
you
best
do.
match, the best matchup against the Raiders, and
Roll the hot
didn't even
hand.
use
Who
him.
cares about the matchup? I can't. Oh, this whole matchup situation is people fucking. It's overdone, dude.
Ooh, that's one.
Seriously,
Put it in the book
that's one thing that you should be doing is start your starters. Stop playing around with that kind of thing. The guy's hot. Throw the guy in. Why would you, go away from that? That don't make no
because the
sense to
one
me.
time I started him when Kelsey was on a bye week, he did nothing.
Yeah,
That's why. And that was week
because he
12.
was on a bye
So I'm
week.
just
He did
saying.
nothing.
No, Kelsey was on a bye,
I
so I
know. I know.
started Kittle.
I know
He
what you
did
meant.
nothing.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So big injuries are Lamar Jackson his ankle and Scary Terry with his concussion. So yeah, so we definitely have those guys here on the list. Lamar Jackson was actually the first one on my list. Information comes back today that it's not a high ankle sprain. They did rule out any type of fracture on the day of the game with the X-rays. And interestingly enough, John Harbaugh says they expect him to play Sunday. So go figure.
Yeah.
One of the
They were
things I
like,
thought
no,
that
that's
was
not even. Don't even worry about the ankle. We're good.
yeah, like he's
You know
good.
what they did?
Uh,
They went back over there and gave it that shot of cortisone. And he's like, "You're finishing out the season, boy, broke or not. We're figured out in the off season."
yeah. So we'll talk about that here. Is Tyler Huntley someone that you can go to? Didn't look great. Had some flashes here and there, and then interestingly enough, takes the sack. I'm surprised he actually held on to that ball. I thought he got drilled. I thought it was going to be a fumble, but either way, turnover on
Here's the thing
downs.
about
So
Tyler Huntley.
he looks
Tyler
just like
Huntley,
Lamar Jackson playing. Like, he has the
no,
same towel. Like, they just look the same on the field.
no, no, no.
Not
When he
not
got in
once the
there,
ball's hiked, but when he's
yeah, yeah,
standing
no. What
there.
I'm saying, he's standing there and he's passing the ball. And what happened? As soon as Huntley came in, Bateman all of a sudden was on fire, getting all kinds of catches and touches.
Yeah,
Right,
and that's the guy, yeah. Bateman
and
goes,
then
6 catches on 7 targets for 103 yards, I believe it was.
yeah,
Just missed his, came up 1 yard short of a touchdown.
guaranteed. Jackson
1
goes
yard
back in
short of a
there,
touchdown.
erase all that. If Jackson was still in the game, erase and all those things that happened. I'm just saying, like Huntley is a good thing for Rashad Bateman.
Mm, mm, mm.
That's all I gotta say about that.
Yeah, well, and we hear about it all the time. Those backup wide receivers with the backup quarterbacks. They have that little bit of chemistry because they're working off on the side together. So
I'm just saying he's
interesting.
not running. He's not looking to run the ball. He's not looking to run the ball. He's looking to
Yeah, he's
pass
going
it.
to actually pass it. Yeah, and
He's
that catch
actually
was
passing the
beautiful.
ball. That's the big difference. That's literally
There it is.
only difference. Is he does he's not his first option is like not somebody that first read open, let's run.
Yeah,
His thing is read 1, 2, 3. Oh my god, maybe I could get a yard.
exactly. Oh, and then
You know
going
what I mean?
back to Scary Terry, he's out, he left. We'll have to, see how he progresses through the concussion protocol. Jonah's still talking about his quarterbacks. There's Fields, Ben, Tannehill, Wentz, Danny Dimes, and Mac Jones.
Yeah.
Tough situation.
Big Ben. Call it a day. Put it on the chalkboard.
I mean, New England going against the Colts. They're playing in a dome. Maybe
I
you go
won't
Mac
trust Wentz
Jones.
for nothing.
I don't know. I don't know. Wentz or Jones. Yeah, that's tough. Come out with
Bet
me
you
on
on it.
Friday. I'm not
Nah,
ready
I'll bet
to
you on it right now, today.
try to
I'm waiting
start
on it.
somebody right now today. Dim Boy's saying there's one in there. Maybe he'll get
No
to it.
commitment with that guy.
Ant the Man. What's up, man? I made the playoffs
At
at the
the
fifth
man
seed out of
YouTube.
6. Yeah. And on my IR, I have Michael Carter, CMC, maybe Miles Sanders, and most likely Terry McLaurin. Yeah, that's tough. We're gonna get into it here. I have Michael Carter on my list here. He's expected to come back this week,
Yep.
so maybe that'll be a nice little,
Thank God. I need
interest
that guy back.
to your lineup. Again, it is the Jets. It's not like he is the savior, but there's definitely points to be had. He's
I
far
just
more
need a guy.
effective. Yeah, he's far more effective than
Cody.
anybody they have in that backfield right now. So
Yeah.
he'll definitely be a welcome sight. Um, and I'll get him in my I guess I'm not playing, so I guess it doesn't matter. He's not coming in my lineup. Maybe next year. He says right now his lineup is Wilson, Cook, Chuba, Moore, Claypool, Andrews, and Russell Gage, who was a sleeper pickup. Yeah, he didn't
Yeah.
perform, of course, to his previous week, coming
Wilson's
off
was
that
good
11
game.
catch. But yeah, it's tough. Cook is definitely your guy. Claypool, we'll see what happens. A little worried about him. DJ Moore has a hamstring, so you got to kind of worry about that. We'll see how he progresses throughout the week. So just make sure you keep an eye on that waiver wire. We'll definitely get
Yeah.
into some guys here that you might be able to pick up or just keep your eye on if they do clear waivers. Because again, most of the league, most leagues aren't making moves. If you're not in the playoffs, you're not making waivers, so you're not competing with the entire league now, and you're definitely not competing with those bottom teams. So again, most people at this point in time in the playoffs, the only people who are really making moves are guys who suffered injuries like Lamar Jackson. Some of these other guys, we're going to get into here.
Yeah, a lot of
Um,
guys are just looking at their team and looking at their bench. There's no reason to make a move. If the guy on your
exactly.
bench ain't already the guy that you're going to be able to put in your lineup, you probably shouldn't have
Yeah,
even had him on your team in the first place. Surprised you
exactly.
even got that far. You know what I mean? Like seriously,
Yeah, exactly. But like you said, there are going to be some holes here and there. Obviously,
except for
Scary
like me, I'm
Terry.
going to be waiver wire and everything. Boom, boom, boom.
Just gonna run the zombie lineup out there.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw
Um,
everybody out there that's going to be scoring a point and watch it.
there it is. Um, excuse
Jonah,
me.
was it Jonah?
Sorry. So you should have took over when I'm doing something like that.
No, it's okay.
Go
Well, you're
ahead and
coughing.
take over.
So pick up Fields, Ben, and Matt, then come back Friday and see who I drop. That's a good idea. I mean, if
Yeah.
you can, I would take
Yep.
Ben, dude. I'm not kidding about it. I know that we're all joking, blah blah, but I'm serious. He's gonna win you two for you. I'm riding with them too. I'm gonna literally sit Hurts, who I think might be back
No,
next
he's not.
week.
You don't want no Minshew magic?
Nope, I don't
He
need any of
said
that
no.
crazy stuff, dude. Trust me, go with the proven
He
source, dude. The steady Eddie
said
money
just
right there with Ben. That's the way I look at it.
yeah.
That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking
He's
at
gonna get
steady
you a
Eddie
brutal
money with Ben.
22.
You know
Yeah, I don't
you
think
know
he'll
what he's
be in
gonna
the
get for you. You
30s.
don't know what you're gonna get from Fields. You don't know, definitely don't know what you're gonna get from Mac. Mac might be an up day, down day. I really like Mac. Like honestly, I
He
think going
might throw for
forward in the
three
future,
three
Mac could
passes.
be a guy, but Mac's always gonna be that guy that's gonna be like Brady used to be, where they like looked good, but like most of it got done by the running game, and he handed off the ball too many times, and you didn't get enough touchdowns. So yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Drunk Squidward saying, I picked up Jarvis Landry, huge pickup for me.
Oh
I can't
yeah,
believe
I got him
someone
too.
did that. So yeah, Jarvis Landry had a nice game. I think
Yeah, I
he
picked him
did.
up, threw him right in the lineup, dude. Don't even worry about
I
it.
think he got hurt. Didn't he get banged up? I think he did come back. I will
Yeah,
have
but he
to
got
check
his
that. I
points,
don't
dude. That's all
have
that
him on
matters.
my list. Yeah, I don't have him on my injury update
He got me
here,
like
so I will
6, and
have.
it's all I needed from a waiver wire pickup to throw onto the team where I was gonna get 0 anyways. Dude, that was golden money right there.
Yeah, it was good. So he goes 5 for 41 and a touchdown. Got you what
Oh,
you
I got
needed.
10 points out of that guy.
Yeah,
10 points.
got you what you needed.
That's all you
Um,
needed. Waiver wire pickup, threw him in the lineup. Got him.
Go ahead, take over. Go ahead.
No, no, no. Oh, I'll go with the next guy. He's drunk Squidward. I added Jamison Crowder with no Elijah Moore or Corey Davis for sure. Oh, nice. Uh, but I don't know. See what happens to Elijah Moore. I heard something about the injury. Corey Davis gone. I'm not think he's coming back. But who's it? Who's that new guy? Davis Mills. What was his name from the game? I can't think of his name. Help me out. He's gonna
For who?
right in the Bills game after Emmanuel Sanders went down.
Oh, it's
Uh,
Gabe Davis. He's my
yeah, Gabe Davis. That's why the Davis names reminded me of him. Corey Davis, Gabe Davis, Gabriel
yeah.
Davis.
Got him here on the waiver wire list. So Gabe
Yeah,
Davis,
he's the waiver
definitely a
wire
guy you
list.
want to
Yeah, I just wanted. I'm
keep
sorry, it
your
just
eye out on.
weird way to track to that guy, right? But it's the Davis last name that reminded me of that guy,
Boom.
Gabriel Davis.
See, there it is. Yeah. So we got it. Gabe Davis, definitely a name you want to keep on. I started him in daily on Sunday. So nice little pickup for me.
Oh,
Got
you
that
got that money
touchdown.
on him? You got the
Um,
daily on him?
oh
See,
yeah,
that's what's up.
yeah. I threw him in there. I'm on there. I'm on there. I didn't do too well this week, but I was in there. I hit on a couple guys, not on a couple lineups.
I
That's the
scored
difference.
140 and it still
But
was like in third. That's rough.
yeah,
When you're
it's
scoring
crazy.
140 and you're in third, dude, are you kidding me? Like, come on.
Yeah, yeah. So again, nice drunk Squidward. There might be some other guys out there. I personally am not fond of Jamison Crowder because again, I'm not trying to really be connected to this, Jets offense really at all. Um
I ain't tripping on the Jeff offense. Somebody got scored points. They're not getting zeros. And I've
yeah,
got
they
the
are
running
though,
back,
kind of.
and
They
Elijah
are
Moore
though.
is solid too, dude. So roll with it.
Yeah, and then you're gonna get Carter coming back. So again, he's gonna take some of those targets. So I'm just saying, just be wary with him. Maybe there'll be a couple guys here on the list that we talk about
Yeah, don't
that you
think
might
you're
be able
gonna
to
get a 2 touchdown
maybe
game for the
even pick
guys,
up
but you get
over.
a touchdown and 80 yards is
Yeah,
solid any game.
yeah. So what's up, James Martin? He's asking us, would y'all keep Butler or Folk rest of season?
I got Butler. I just picked him up recently, and I'm
So
rolling with that guy.
kicker question.
And who
Kicker question.
cares? Pick a guy and roll
Yeah, I
with him.
think you have
Like
to.
honestly, at the
Yeah,
end of the game, just
yeah.
roll with somebody. Roll with somebody. Roll with somebody who has a team that scores a lot of points. Like at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Other guys I might just consider McPherson, uh, Greg
Yeah,
Joseph. He
options.
plays in a
You're
dome.
thinking about
All
somebody
three,
different.
all
It
three
doesn't matter, dude.
games.
Who
Deskin
cares?
Deskin Hoppins. He's playing in a dome. I'm just saying if you can get a guy that's not playing in wind or anything like that, also part of scoring offenses or maybe offenses that kind of are good but then they sputter out. So you get those field goal opportunities. You know, so those are guys you want to take a look at.
Wilson's talking about Huntley being the vulture this week for the Ravens if he starts.
Read it out for the people that are on the YouTube Prime. Read it out for them.
No, I did read it out. Huntley is the vulture for the
Oh,
Ravens this week if he starts. Ha 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 ha.
agreed. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
he
like you were
is.
kind of talking about earlier, you were saying he does maybe look to pass more so than uh,
Yeah, he's way looking more to
Lamar was
pass.
in.
Lamar is not looking to pass. Lamar is like one read, run. This guy's going first, second, third progression, then I'll run. Because he doesn't have the wheels for it. But I mean, that's okay. He doesn't have to be that way. He could just be a pocket passer and be fine. Miami
Exactly.
defense is a must
Uh,
start as well.
Yeah, they
What do you think?
have very nice lineups going against the Jets. They were one of the ones I had, but to me, the Niners had 3 matchups that I liked better, going against Atlanta, Tennessee, and Houston. So I snagged the Niners defense, and I'll take my chances with them against Atlanta, Tennessee, and Houston in the championship. Not bad, huh?
Not bad. Oh, I'd roll with that. Drew Lauro. Would you start Taysom with Kamara in your lineup? I'm reluctant to move off the Dak because of had Dak CD stack, but Dak has been absolutely been awful lately. Basically, I would say. So would you start
Yeah,
Taysom with
as
Kamara?
much as it as much as it pains me, I mean, with what we see, he's basically Jalen Hurts. I mean, not a great passer per se, and doesn't look good. And then you look up and he's QB4 overall in the week because of that
So
rushing upside. It's what makes Josh Allen this week be QB1 overall because you add that running aspect to it. You know,
roll with
those
Taysom, dude.
quarterbacks that can throw
I'm gonna
for
tell you, roll with
250,
Taysom
300
because no
yards.
matter what happens at the end of the game, Taysom has to carry that team on his back.
Yeah, but
Even with Kamara there, the problem with it is that he will have they literally have design runs for Taysom. I don't know if you've watched
yeah.
these games or
Now
not.
just remember though, he was playing the Jets, number 1, and number 2, they're playing against Tampa Bay, so they're literally
He
going
did the
against
same
the
thing against
from the
Dallas,
worst
bro.
defense to the best.
Even with
But
4
Dallas is
interceptions, he
not
still
Tampa Bay.
my point being is even with 4 interceptions, even if he throws 4 interceptions with Tampa Bay, he's still gonna rush for 100 yards.
Yeah, but you can't rush against Tampa Bay. That's the difference.
Bro, trust me, he'll rush 100 yards. I'll bet you $100 he will.
Whoa, that's way more than a gentleman's bet. We'll have to talk about that offline, but I might have to get me some of
I'm
that.
just telling you, bro.
I don't
Watch.
want to take advantage of you. We'll talk
What
about
did
it in the
what did
morning.
how much did he run last time?
If you still
This
feel the
last week?
same in the morning, I'll have to take you
How
upon
much
that.
did he run this last week?
Huh?
How much did he run this last week?
Oh, he ran for 100 this week, but it was the Jets.
And
So
how much
that's what
did he
I'm
run
saying.
against Dallas? How much did he run against Dallas?
Dallas is not Tampa Bay, but we'll continue this
No, I'm just saying, did he
offline.
run 100 yards?
Yeah,
Why would you expect any less from him?
because he's going to regress to the
Because
mean.
he's
But
facing a
anyway,
tougher defense. All of a sudden, that defense stop everything he's gonna do. They're built
yeah,
to stop the run. I get that, but when he does a run pass option, and this dude literally has a play designed for him to run, he's gonna get his 100,
we'll
guaranteed,
see.
bro,
We'll see.
guaranteed.
All right, I might have to take your over under on that. We're gonna have to
Look,
talk
I'm not
about
saying
that
he's
one.
gonna win your freaking game or anything, but he's gonna get 100 yards.
He said 100 total yards. Might need more than that. Is he gonna get in
No,
the end
100
zone
rushing
too?
yards is what I'm talking
He
about.
got
100
bailed out
rushing
with
yards.
that. He got bailed out with that throw in garbage time at the end of the Dallas game, and he got bailed out with the long 60-yard run
I'm talking about 100
against the Jets.
rushing
So
yards.
we'll see.
100 rushing yards for Taysom Hill.
58 yards
Book
on
it.
one carry. We'll
Book it.
talk about it. We're gonna have to do
Book it.
that. All right,
2
James
games in a
Martin.
row
Anyway,
shows you what he's gonna be doing.
we
Book it. 108
digress.
rushing yards.
James says, also your thoughts on Van Jefferson rest of season.
Keep him,
What
start
do you
him.
think about
Go with that guy. I
there it
like him.
is?
Van Jefferson
Yeah,
got the touchdown tonight.
dude,
Obviously in a losing effort.
that touchdown was amazing.
Sick,
The
right?
only
Sick.
the
That's
only
all you need to
better
see
throw
about that
than
guy.
that the only better throw than that all week was the Justin Herbert, 67-yard freaking bomb to Palmer. That was
Yeah.
outrageous as he was getting hit. So he could have threw it even farther,
Oh
just
yeah.
dropped it out of the
Further.
sky.
Yeah.
I mean,
Drop
that
and
kid
dive.
is amazing. And like I remember, if you guys remember, I traded Taysom or Tyreek Hill for Justin Herbert and um, DeAndre Swift.
Here's the only thing about Van Jefferson
And he
though,
got,
just to answer his
I think,
question.
Cal
He's boomer
Calvet got me.
bust as the same as OBJ. Because now they're in the same fucking basic
Ooh,
situation.
that's 2. That's 2. I
They're
like it.
both guys. They both got a touchdown tonight. I think no. Did he get the OBJ? Did he get a touchdown? I
Yeah,
remember.
OBJ scored
Yeah,
2
he
yards
did. He
out
did. Right, 2 yards.
in the
All right.
first. Yeah.
So yeah. So point being is that they're both the same guy now. They're going to be deep pass options. One of them's going to might be get a touchdown. One might not. I mean, this happened to be the night that they both did. But I think on regular basis, it's going to be hit or miss as to which one is going to be the guy.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and Sonny Michel was pretty ineffective on the ground this week, so we'll see what happens when Henderson comes back. But this is kind of the offense that I think McVay wants. If you have Stafford back there,
Yeah,
he should be able to feed all three of these receivers. Cooper Cup's going to get his. He's just that good,
exactly.
and McVay's going to put it on people. He wants to score. He's not going to dial it back. So again, if you can get a piece of this offense, I mean, I'd rather have Van Jefferson than honestly, like an Elijah Moore, only because he has such a better quarterback throwing to him, and he's so much, part of a much better offense that is
I
in
disagree on
has
that
more
one
scoring
as far
opportunities.
as Elijah Moore is
Um,
concerned because it's the only option over there.
well, he hasn't done anything with Wilson, and plus Michael Carter's coming back. So again, we'll see. We'll
He's been doing
continue
all right.
that talk. So yeah. So again, we both like Van
Maybe
Jefferson on that
we'll agree to disagree. I'm in
one.
third, going into the
Oh,
playoffs, and
you
just
don't like Van
lost.
Jefferson?
Elijah Moore and Kareem Hunt looks injured too. Yeah, you're rough. You're rushing.
Yeah, and I
Definitely
do
go
have
over
Kareem Hunt.
Van. That's why the whole reason to go with Van.
Yeah, so we have Kareem Hunt. He's dealing with an ankle injury. They're considering him week to week. They're saying it's unlikely that he starts this week because they are in a short week because they play on Saturday. So we do have two Saturday games this week, which are the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. And then we also have the New England Patriots at Indianapolis Colts. So both of those teams will be playing on Saturday. So Wilson saying with OBJ's injury history, Van Jefferson is a great option to have regardless. So that's a whole nother layer to have on top of that. If OBJ were to get hurt, especially playing on that turf out there in LA, you know, Van Jefferson slides right into that number 2 role.
Oh yeah, he's number two
Um,
right off the bat, like instant.
yeah. So Drunk Squidward is saying, is Jerry Judy worth keeping? Maybe as a low end flex play. So what are your thoughts on Jerry Judy?
He's definitely worth holding. Would he be worth starting? No, not at this point. So yeah, I wouldn't just outright drop him. Would I start him even as a flex play? Depends on the rest of the roster, right? Like, who
Yeah.
else do you have? Like, I can't just tell you, yeah, that's the guys that flex play because you got somebody else on the bench who I'd rather have. So,
Yeah.
but he's
Interesting.
designated to the flex play area of like, is he a flex player guy? Yeah, that's where he's at right now.
Yeah. Jerry Judy's problem is, of course, he's just suffering from quarterback play. Teddy Bridgewater's nothing special. He's more of a game manager. He will utilize him. In his last 2 games, he's seen 6 targets against Kansas City and Detroit. Had 77 yards and then just 47 yards this last week. But his issue is he hasn't scored a touchdown, all year. Obviously, he was hurt weeks 2 through 7.
Well, I
So
think
probably
Denver's
kind
a
of
running team too, dude. I mean, because who got touchdowns, right?
yeah. And when it
Melvin
comes down
Gordon,
to it,
2 touchdowns, and who? Where did the other touchdown go to?
Javante and one in the air.
Exactly,
He had
and
one in
in
the
the
air,
air.
one on the ground. So
Exactly. So who got the touchdowns? The running backs, right? Who's losing on
exactly.
that? The wide receivers. That's
Yep.
all you need to know about that team. It's a
Hmm.
rushing team. It's built around about the running backs. Those two guys are feasting. If you don't have a running back over there, forget about Jerry Judy. Forget about who was it that you traded to me? That was garbage. Carlton
Sutton.
Sutton and anybody else over there as far as wide receivers is on Denver because it goes to the running game. So there you go.
Yeah. And Wilson's saying Sutton's definitely droppable, but keep Judy. So yeah. So I'd kind of keep Judy. Again, is he start worthy? I don't think you're really missing anything. If you're able to pick up someone like a Hunter Renfro or someone like that, you're obviously starting, those guys over him who are getting, better opportunities. T. Higgins, someone like that. You definitely want to play ahead of him. So yeah, so
This
that's
guy's
that.
talking about kickers. This guy's talking about Folk nailed 40 plus kicks in the Bills Winter Storm game.
Yeah, yeah, he definitely has a leg.
Who cares?
Um, but that's what I
You can
mean.
get a
Yeah,
guy that scores 2, 3, 4 of those that are 20 points and beyond just because the team gets closer based on the fact that they're a better offense and they have more scoring opportunities. That's what you want to go for. Who cares if you fucking kicked in the snow?
Yeah,
Just
no, I
kickers
think you're just
anyways.
saying that because I was saying,
I'm just saying. I just want to
it's
drop
good to
that
have
bomb. That's all.
guys. Yeah, no, it's all right. I know, I heard those. Your counter's just going and going now. We're past that. We're past that
Yeah.
part, but it's all good. So yeah, so go ahead. Where were we at?
We're
Let's see.
past the kickers now.
Evan Harrison saying start 2 in PPR, Jacobs, Monty,
Jacoby's, Monty,
Mitchell, and
and Michelle.
CEH.
I
So
go
who do you like out of
Monty,
those two?
CEH.
That's who I like too there. Unless Mitchell is healthy and he's starting, because if he's there, obviously Wilson, Hasty, they didn't really do anything to take his job. I think as long as his knee's okay and he's ready to go and get his full workload, I'd take Monty and Mitchell. CH is looking better. He's coming off a 2 touchdown
Yeah.
game, but he didn't have that many yards. And we also saw Del Williams score a touchdown. We also saw Derek Gore score a touchdown as well too. So all 3 running backs scored
Who
this
was it?
week.
Oh, who? Derek Gore? Is that what you said it was? So we were,
Yeah.
as soon as we seen the Gore go in there, it's like we were thinking, is that Frank Gore scoring a touchdown? It was hilarious. We were hyped.
It's like he's
This motherfucker's still playing football. Anyways, so you get that. So anybody who knows, that's old school shit.
making me laugh.
But that
You're
guy's
making
still
me laugh.
playing, right? I'm
Nah,
just saying
he's
that guy's
done.
still playing.
Yeah, he's done.
Is he
Yeah,
done
he's done.
finally?
Yeah,
I
he's
thought he was
done.
on the
He's
team this
done.
year. Look it up. I'm gonna double check.
You can look it up. I already know. Henderson or Michelle or OBJ better at the flex play rest of season. So it's hard to make a rest of season kind of decision because you really kind of got to take things week by week, Drew.
You're right.
We never know what's going to kind of happen. Obviously, you asked us this before, we would have told you Henderson over all 3 of these guys. If you asked us this just 2 weeks ago, after how we've seen, at least for me as an Odell Beckham owner, having AJ Brown go down and have OBJ was my wide receiver 4 to plug in a 3 wide receiver league. I kind of didn't really skip a beat. He's produced far beyond, my expectations. And I'm feeling a little,
He's
more
been lucky as
comfortable.
shit.
I know, but that's a lot of that is fantasy
Yeah,
football. It's all
yeah,
about opportunity.
it is. Did he
Again,
get
I
his
want a
touchdowns
part of
in?
that
That's all
offense.
that matters, dude. That's all that matters.
He's in an offense that scores. People are rolling coverage to Cup, so they're going to get open. He's going to have opportunities, and so can he
I'm not
capitalize on them?
arguing that point. I'm just arguing, is he a good player? No. Not even fantasy wise, he's not.
Yeah, but
He's
I don't
getting
think
lucky
any
at
of
this
those other
point.
guys. I think he's actually the best talent out of those 3 as well too.
Over
And again,
Henderson or Michelle?
yeah, and he's saying it's full PPR.
I would say Henderson's a
Yeah,
better talent out of all those guys.
no, you're drinking that juice. It's all good. We can agree to
Hey, the
disagree
proof's in
on
the
that one
pudding.
too.
Did he score? Did
We're
he
not.
score? Did he not
Yeah,
score?
we're not here. All I'm saying is Cam Akers is going to be the man if he was there. Matt
Oh yeah,
Stafford,
yeah. Oh
we're
yeah. I'm not
starting.
arguing that point. Not arguing that point. No.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. You can
Cam
read
would
it
be
off.
the man.
I need to
Cam
take a
would
drink.
be the man in that case. Go ahead. No. Go ahead. Oh, Matthew Stafford, we're starting. Have Lamar, but he's been underperforming lately. Go with the red hot guy. And I'm with that. I'm with you on that page. I'm always go with the guy who's got the hot hand. Ride it till it's over. Ride that pony till it's over.
Yeah,
So
I know you're a big hot hand approach guy. I'm more kind of stick with the guys that you had. To me, Lamar's hurt. Stafford is more than a replaceable guy, and so to me, you don't have one of those quarterbacks where it's better off to start your guy who's hurt because his ceiling's a lot higher. To me, Stafford is a no brainer plug and play if Lamar ends up missing this week or he's any kind of hobbled because he does produce a lot on the ground. As we were just talking about with people like Taysom Hill and Kyler, Josh Allen, these guys are scoring their points on the ground, and that's what separates them. So if you take away kind of that ability, and he's more of a pocket passer, nothing's wrong with his arm. Um, I don't think he's as much of a threat. I'd rather have Stafford in there if we're talking just pure pocket passer with his weapons that he has.
exactly. And Matthew Stafford has been dropping dimes. Lamar has not. Lamar is injured, and just in general, I have him. I have Lamar. I literally just Lost the game due to Lamar. 2 QB setup. You can't just get 1 point from the guy. But I mean, injuries are not predictable. Injuries aside, would you start Matthew Stafford over him? It's a close matchup. Like you obviously want to
Yeah,
go with Lamar because he offers the most upside. But at the end of the day, Stafford is not that far behind from Lamar. I don't think.
yeah, if he's banged up at all. Wilson's agreeing, saying absolutely Stafford. And Dim Boys, he always has your back. He looked it up for you. Frank Gore's boxing now. He's a boxer now. I think he and Darren
Is that
Williams,
what's up?
the basketball player, had a pay-per-view. Either
Thank
just
you, Dim
recently it
Boys.
passed or
That's what
it's
I'm
coming
talking
up
about.
here soon.
Frank
So
Gore was solid, dude. I don't care how he's a Frank. So cheers out
and
to all the
Wilson
Franks in
saying,
the
"Didn't
world.
Frank Gore get KO'd in the first round?" Oh no, I hope he didn't.
Oh,
That
that's
people were talking
terrible.
about hopefully. Yeah,
That wouldn't happen to me.
remember that one guy
Never
that
that.
got KO'd like that by that YouTube guy? I'm too old to remember all that, but Nate Robinson, remember Nate? Little Nate? He got, like,
Oh
knocked out,
yeah.
and then everybody started doing all those, little,
Till after it
photoshops
came
of
out
him
that
just being passed out everywhere.
Logan Paul didn't put it in the contract that he couldn't get punched in the face.
Oh, really? I didn't even hear
So
anything about
in
that.
that
I was
fight, Logan Paul put in the contract that he could not get punched in the face. So how are you gonna get knocked out without getting punched in the face? I mean, you got to be really a good boxer to knock somebody out with body shots. Considering Nate Robinson was a basketball player, he's not one of those guys, right?
Yeah, I don't
So he
know.
could get punched in the face, but you can't punch the other guy in the face. You might get knocked out. I'm just saying.
Possibly,
Just
possibly.
saying. If you're going to
Wilson's
go into a boxing match against a boxer and can't punch him in the face, I'm just saying. Just
yeah.
saying.
So Wilson's saying, Denver's one piece away if they get Wilson or Watson. Watch out for this team next year. Yeah, they're just missing a quarterback. They just need to get a couple more pieces, I think, on the defense. And that's uh that's a nice team next year. Especially if they get like you said, a Rodgers or Russell Wilson or a Watson, someone like that. Could be interesting. Can't wait to see where some of these
Oh,
quarterbacks might
we're
go
about to
next
do
year.
these redrafts. It's going to be interesting, Anthony.
Yeah, very
Just saying.
interesting.
Redrafts. I can't
Very
wait.
interesting. Yeah. Yeah, and it's sad, man. Today's the last day, man. Some people are not playing
That's it.
next week.
Hey, I'm not playing in a
No
lot of my leagues, dude. I'm just
no
pumped.
no
I'm
lineup to
pumped that I'm
set
in the
next
right
week
one.
for some people
I'm pumped that I could get a chance to repeat.
to go back to back, and that's all you need sometimes,
That's
just
that's
that
all I have. I
motivation.
have a chance right now to repeat. Doesn't
There it
mean I'm
is.
gonna, but I have
He's
the
working
chance
on
and
it.
the opportunity,
You
and
better
that's
get to
all
looking at
that
that
matters.
belt. You better hold that belt tight, man, because it's coming up off you here, possibly here
I don't
very
know.
soon.
I don't know.
It's
Anything can
almost
happen,
done.
bro. Anything can happen.
All right, so
I'm
we
gone
got
this
a
far with nothing, living on a prayer right here.
There it is. That's all it takes, man. Again, Jeff Wilson won everybody leagues last year, so go find your Jeff Wilson. Might be Rashad Penny. James Martin says,
Got him.
I have
Got him.
you got him already. James Martin says, I have Brandon Cooks, Van Jefferson, Brandon Ayuk, T. Higgins. I have a lot of trouble setting up lineups. They're all boom or bust. Any advice? Yeah, you should have traded two of them for one solid guy you could just stick
Yeah.
in there every week.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm in the same position, bro. I have Jamar
T.
Chase,
Higgins. Roll with
T.
T.
Higgins.
Higgins. Brandon Ayuk at this point, and Van.
I kinda yeah, out of the 3, I'll rank them this way. I go Higgins, uh, man,
Higgins number
Tim
one for
I
sure.
like IU. Uh,
Ayuk
see,
only got a
it's
touchdown,
close
literally
because
the last
Jefferson
throw of that game. Had he
and it
not
was
got you that
amazing,
touchdown, he would have
though,
been
but look at
garbage.
the play, dude, it was
But he's getting the look,
amazing.
so you got to
He's
go with the
that
Brandon.
guy. He
That's
flashed.
that's what
That
I'm
was
saying. You
another
got to go with
flash.
him.
Alright,
And
so
Van
maybe I go
Jefferson,
yeah, I don't think Jefferson's
Higgins,
quite
Ayuk,
there.
Jefferson.
Yeah, Higgins, Ayuk, Jefferson, and then Cooks. So that's where I'm at. Right now with those guys. All right, so Tyler
As of
Lockett's been a
today,
baller
don't hold
this
us to
year.
it.
So what are your feelings about Tyler Lockett? Are you on the? I mean, are you just happy you don't have him because you don't have to ride that boomer bust? Or, I mean, he was pretty good this year with Russell Wilson playing.
I would say Lockett is locked in.
Ooh,
You
there
can
it
tell
is. I
that
like it.
at this point, by this point in the year, you've seen the definition of who the guy is going to be for Russell Wilson. last year at this same point, you could tell it was DK, and Lockett was like gone. He was like 2-3 games into the season. He had that 4 touchdown game, went on that dry spell, and then went like poof, smoke.
My whole thing in that offense that I just do not understand is how come that's not Metcalf running those routes? Like
What do you mean?
the routes that Lockett is running, why aren't they having DK run those routes? Like
Because Lockett
it,
could run them better, and he's catching the touchdowns. Are you kidding me?
but that's what I'm saying. But like
I'm like,
DK
what's your
is a
question here? The
fluke
guy's catching the
himself.
touchdowns.
I
Like,
just don't
obviously,
think
he's
it's
running the
great
routes just
offense.
right, and
I
he's
think they're
getting the
utilizing their
touchdowns. I'm not
guys
sure what
as
your
much.
question is right there.
I don't know, man.
Why
It's
isn't it
just
DK? You have DK enough for
yeah.
DK. Remember this: before DK, it was Lockett.
Yeah, but still.
DK only happened to be there last year. So do I
There
think
it is.
Tyler Lockett will continue this year and ball out this year? Hell yeah. It's a lock. You already know who it's going to be. It's going to be Lockett going forward. It's been Lockett. Lockett came back and took his place, and that's that. DK
There it
had one good
is.
year.
Mr. 807. Mr. 807.
Yeah, whoever got him
Um
at the end of that, dude, awesome.
Yes,
First
he
round
found his
of
way back to
playoffs.
them boys. So I was the one who
He's in
originally
the first
drafted
round of
him, I
playoffs, yeah.
believe, in the 807. Or I think I was the first one to trade him twice or something.
Well,
That's why you
you're
play in more leagues so you can make it to the playoffs and at least one. I'm the one who made it like a thing because like I traded for him and then traded him away like in this like within 2 hours or something, and that's when it became a thing.
that's
He
awesome.
was just like he was the piece that everyone
You
valued
could just
but was
move
willing to
around.
trade. Like he's the most
Yeah.
tradable piece because everyone's agreed on his value, eh,
Yeah,
but
he's like a
he
50,
wasn't
60
like,
point
"Yeah, I don't
guy,
need to have
but
him."
he's
Like,
not
you know
too
what I mean?
bad, but
Yeah.
he's not too good.
Yeah, like he was just like easily like not someone you have to have, and once you got him, you had him. He's just very
And you
strange.
weren't
So
upset that you had him, right? You were like, he's all right.
yeah, but you'll take him in a trade easily.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I'm saying.
yeah,
That's why he's
I'll
all
take
right.
him.
It's like, I'll take
Yeah,
him. He's all right.
yeah, exactly.
I'll
All
deal
right,
with
so
that
we
guy. He's good.
got drunk Squidward in here saying if the Packers lose in the playoffs again, look for Rodgers to leave and maybe go to Denver. So we were definitely talking
I
about
doubt that.
that. James Martin
I don't
says
think
Woods was
I
my
just
set it and
I don't know
forget
if you
it
guys
guy
were
until
listening to
he
the
got
game, but they were
injured.
talking about Rodgers and that whole situation, the way he needed to be appreciated, and his fucking prima donna attitude, and blah blah. I'm almost sold that he's not going to leave there anymore.
Exactly. And I'm just gonna jump ahead here. Dim Boys is saying that's why his team name in that league is Welcome Home, Mr. 807, because
Who's
he
that?
found his way all the way back. Dim Boys, he has him in the Dynasty League. So he was
Oh, you
drafted,
got
traded him
that?
away,
Oh, that's
trade.
hilarious. Let
Yeah,
me go
like
look at that. That
literally
is
four
hilarious,
trades
dude.
and made him back, made his way back. So shout out to Mr. 807. Drunk Squidward saying DK still good, floor guy.
You know what? We should
It's
mention
just Tyler's year.
Twitter this motherfucker the whole history of why someone needs to write up a book. Send it to fucking him and to let him know why he's Mr. 807. At some point, maybe he might mention or would a shout out to the 807 and give us a shout out. Because then he would
Yeah.
be like, you got traded 15 times in one day.
And then back to the original guy who drafted you. Like that's what makes it even better is he went through like 5 different people, no lie, and then back to the original
Oh, he's
owner.
got the name
So,
807 right now. Hold on.
there it is. All right, so James is saying Rogers is goated, and Wilson always like his names here. He's saying teed up, dance with Vance. So dance with Vance Jefferson. So yeah, so I'm just going to kind of run through some other injuries and news here around the
Right,
leagues. We'll just kind
run
of
it down. Run it down.
yeah, we'll just kind of bang through some of this if we get caught up on anything anybody wants to comment or anything like that.
Don't worry, we won't listen.
Yeah, Dim Boys is saying maybe we shouldn't do that because he's just going to be mad he wasn't drafted until the 807. Just tell him its value. Say Debo went around that area as well too. So we mentioned Lamar Jackson. So just we had a plethora. Can I use the word plethora? A plethora of people go on COVID today.
Shut up.
I think it was
And you
over
know what?
46
Hey,
players.
hold on. I know that it's not unrelated and
I just
related,
started to go into like
but
I like had a
I
whole
know. I
thing
just want to
ready to
pause you
go.
for 1 second.
All
I know.
right, go ahead, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry to interrupt,
I was
but
like, I
it's
thought about it. I had practiced
No, you
this
know
in
what?
the
Go ahead.
mirror.
Finish. Finish it
No, I'm
off. I'll
just
finish off on it.
I'm just messing with you, dude. Go ahead. I ain't
Here,
got
so
nowhere to go.
here's
Go
one,
ahead.
and it's kind of a funky thing to me, dude, because and it's a good and a bad thing. Uh, I go, as you guys know, I go fishing a lot, and I go out of the county a lot. And around my area, in Anthony's area, we're all maxed up. In California, we're in California, but I go outside of my county, and apparently everybody has to wear a mask, and I'm not aware of this because in my county you don't have to wear a mask. And up until tomorrow, the 15th, was the 15th? 2 days from now, I will have to mask up going into stores and liquor stores and just general places all over again, which is kind of odd to me because I haven't been doing it for quite some time. And then I'm gonna go back into this whole mask situation, but I completely agree with it. I'm not wrong with it, and I don't mind. It doesn't bother me that much. It's not that hard to wear a piece of cloth over my mouth, so I don't spread disease. Was recently sick. I had a common cold, and I stayed home from work. And I expect other people to do the common courtesy of stop spreading disease, just like fucking little kids fucking getting fucking lice. And I don't
Ooh, you
understand how
just
all this
rattled off
happens.
3 of them.
Well, I'm just saying because my friends, just kids, just got lice because they went to school with lice in their hair, and I don't understand why parents don't keep their fucking licey ass kids at home. Which is the
Ooh,
same reason why parents don't keep their fucking snotty ass kids at home when they're fucking sick. Stop fucking sending your kids to school and start spreading even just normal diseases, let alone some fucking rat and raven COVID fucking happening at the same time. So that's my little rant,
alright.
rave.
Well,
Because
maybe I shouldn't have
I'm
let
just
you
saying,
go
be
on that.
kind to your next person. Stop fucking spreading disease. If you're sick, stay home. That's all I gotta say
Our
about that.
viewers just
Whether you
went,
got COVID or not.
"Yo."
Whether you got COVID or not, fucking god damn it.
It's alright. Well, I'll take you out of that. So, back to fantasy football.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
And maybe I shouldn't have let you. That was a bad decision on my part. Sorry,
No, you
guys.
shouldn't.
Uh,
Totally
it's
good.
all good.
Never done George
So
Franco on the bench.
I know, right? Yeah, see, there it goes. Even Dustin was saying that was he was saying that was 6 right there. Tim Boys is saying that's 100%. You're 100% Matthew Berry tonight show. Dude can't stay on a single train of thoughts for anything. And see, but then you got people in here they're saying preach, brother. So you're good. And definitely an F bomb leader. And that said, that was definitely way more than you can count. So we did say it was a rant. Good thing we clicked the button that says not the children's show. So apologize for you guys out there, but you had some good content in there. So again, back to fantasy football now. Just running through the injury. No, it's all good. Running through the injury news and notes around the league. Like I said, on the whole reason why that brought that up, COVID spreading through NFL right now. 36 different players and coaches were all tested positive today. There's a couple in there that were considered false positives, but just to kind of name a few, Alexander Madison, he's considered not vaccinated, going to definitely miss next week's game, going to miss 10 days at least. The Vikings did claim Wayne Gallman off waivers, so we'll see what happens there. But of course, Cook's healthy now. But should anything happen to
Cooks is
him,
good, dude. No, if you
yeah,
don't get COVID,
he's
he's
good.
good.
Exactly. We have
Obviously, nobody's gonna not start that guy. Go
yeah,
ahead.
we have Kadarius Tooney on COVID as well. Josh Gordon tested positive today. Cedric Wilson, Quez Watkins, DJ David Johnson from Houston. So again, there's obviously other guys, in those teams, but I tried to just kind of pick out some of the, not necessarily relevant teams, but just teams where, other fantasy relevant players are on. And if these guys are testing positive 3 days from now, other guys could be testing positive. So make sure you have that depth on your bench going into fantasy playoff week. And if you were lucky enough to get in your bye week, good job for you. So another couple injuries around the league. We have Eckler dealing with an ankle. He's playing on Thursday night. So just keep an eye on him. You want to maybe grab uh, Justin Jackson, maybe Josh Kelly, just to back him up. But again, he wouldn't have practiced today if they did have practice. Tony Pollard dealing with his torn plantar fascia. They're saying he has a good chance of playing next week. Apparently, they feel a lot better about it this week than last. So there we are. We have Josh Allen We mentioned earlier dealing with his foot. We mentioned Manny Sander dealing with his knee sprain. He's definitely going to be out, so that's why
On
Gabe
that,
Davis. Yeah, go
what
ahead.
about
Stop me
Gilbert?
whenever you can.
I was just thinking right now, Gilbert.
Gilbert, who? Oh,
Evans.
you mean Gabe Davis?
Yeah,
Gabriel
that's all.
Davis?
I can't think of his freaking name, dude. I'm freaking
Yeah, we all know you're bad
Gabe
with names. It's
Davis.
all good.
So,
Yes.
Evander, I'm terrible with names, regardless. Even if I'm sober, I'm still terrible with the guy's name. But you know who I'm thinking about. That's why I was like, right here at this point in time, Emmanuel Sanders sprained knee. He's week to week. May not come back this next week. Gabriel Davis, I think, is a definitely pickup, and you might want to even give him a shot next week as long as Emmanuel Sanders doesn't play. He seemed to be balling out.
Yeah,
Like
and
maybe it was a
Josh Allen
game
looks for him.
situation or whatever, but it worked out well. Like it just looked like he was getting targeted, like he was going to be the man.
Yeah, and of course that's because they don't want to have Manny Sanders beat him over the top, and then they of course are going to rule coverage to Steph Diggs, so that kind of leaves that third guy to kind of sneak in there. So of course once Sanders got hurt, we definitely saw Gabe Davis get his most targets of the year. He ended with 8 targets. He had his most catches on the year, 5. Didn't come close to his 105-yard performance in week 10.
Trust
Did
me,
end
if
up
you
with
watch the
43
game, it was
yards
more
and get the touchdown.
impactful than the numbers say, though, dude. Like we
Yeah,
watched the
no, and
game, it was like it's not
he's
always about the numbers. It's about like the feel of the game and what's going on with the team.
yeah.
And
Well, he
really,
got 8
it
targets.
seemed to
That's
me
why you
like as
saw
soon
it.
as I'm just saying, like in when Manny, I've been watching the games for a while, right? Like if you look at the progression of the previous games, Emmanuel Sanders doesn't seem to be like the guy that draws the attention. This guy drew attention immediately as soon as he was available. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it changed the game of the pace of the game because he was there and he was moving the ball with them and he was part of the offense easier than Sanders was. Is what I'm trying to get at. Like,
Yeah.
does that make sense?
Well, and it
Like he was
shows because he has the chemistry because he's been there for 2 years, 2, 3 years, 2 years. So this was his second year there. I was actually really big on him this year as a sleeper until they signed Sanders. Then Sanders was kind of hurt early on. We
it was like
saw
waiting
him
around, see what
flash.
happens.
Yeah, we saw him, flash here and there. He saw 5 targets right out of the gate. He got banged up, missed a game here or there. Then just couldn't really see his way back to the field. That's when Sanders kind of started going off. But then lately, starting week 8 and on, he's seen 4 more targets in the majority of the games, and had pretty consistent production and has scored 3 touchdowns over the last 7 games. So, including 2 back to back. So he's definitely, you know, in that in line. And we saw him miss on a couple touchdown passes in that New England game as well too, that he could have connected with.
So if he's healthy next week, would you start him or Sanders?
Um, well, Sanders who? Because Sanders not going to be playing.
Yeah, Sanders. Well, what
Well,
if
Emmanuel
he
Sanders isn't
is?
playing. Oh,
He's
it's
not
Gabe
going to be
Davis.
playing.
Yeah,
It's going to
that's
be
why I
Gabe
started
Davis.
Gabe
Oh,
Davis
okay.
in my DFS last week. Yeah.
I thought he was the week to
So,
week, so he might be available next week.
yeah, he's definitely one of my waiver ads this week.
So get Gabe Davis.
Um, yeah, so I like him.
All
Again,
right.
just
I just wanted to see where we're at because I thought Sanders was week to week, so meaning he might be available next week, and that's what I'm
yeah,
trying to get at. Is like if Sanders is available next week, would you still start Gabe Davis?
um, yes, because I don't think Sanders would be 100%, like realistically.
All right, cool.
Um,
That's what I was trying to get at.
but yeah,
That's all I wanted to hear. Perfect.
yeah, no, you're good. So yeah, so that's cool. We talked about Hunt, we talked about Carter. Uh, we talked about a couple of names we didn't mention. DJ Moore left with a hammy. He's day to day. We had Damian Harris. They were on a bye week, but articles came out that he was working at the facility trying to rehab and do everything he can to get back for their game on Saturday. So keep an eye on that during the week. We have
Yeah,
DeAndre
I'm
Swift.
waiting to see DeAndre Swift come back. I need him to come back. He's on my teams, 2 of my leagues. I need that boy back, and
Yeah,
like in a bad way. Like,
So
I don't
I'm
think
right
I
there
could
with
pull
you.
off what I did this week again. You never know. I could try,
Yeah,
but it would be helpful to have a couple of regular guys that you just have ready in the pocket. To
exactly.
move on waiver wire ads, I think we mentioned last week. I know KJ Osborne. If you ain't have him in your right lineup, definitely get him back in your lineup or whatnot. Start that guy, whether it be your second or third guy that you have available, but definitely put him in there. Royce Freeman, running back. What do you think?
For Royce Freeman, he's just a guy to kind of, keep an eye on, with everyone kind of going on IR over there in Houston. Again, not a piece I'm really ready to run and jump out, come fantasy playoffs. But if, you're just completely hurting at running back and you have nobody there, he could be a potential piece that you could pick up.
Been there,
Um,
am there.
yeah. So, but again, I'm not, if you're in that kind of situation, it's pretty rough.
And we hashed out Gabe Davis already. Rashad Penny, we've already mentioned. Definitely get that guy. Depending on your lineup, you either start
Yeah.
him or you don't. He might have an injury prone. Maybe he doesn't. But if he doesn't, definitely fire him up for the rest of the year, honestly. Alan Lazard, Green Bay. What do you think?
Yeah, so Alan Lazard, he's a guy that I kind of flirted with all year. I had him on my roster for a while there. I ended up somebody dropped OBJ right before he got traded to the Rams, and it took me a long time to actually drop OBJ for Lazard. I am happy I did that. But we've seen, why. Alan Lazard, he's 6'5", only 26 years old. It's his third year. He's been there in Green Bay. He's coming off a six catch, seven target, 75-yard, and a touchdown game. He has four touchdowns, I believe, on the season so far. So he is a big red zone target. I mean, at 6'5". So, can he just, earn,
Can he get you one? I think
Rogers'
he get you one.
trust?
I think
Yeah,
he get you one.
especially with Randall Cobb being out, and placed on
Yeah.
IR dealing with his groin or abdomen or whatever it is. We know MVS's role is more that, deep shot guy. So, maybe they can utilize, Lazard a little more. But we pretty much know, this offense runs through Mr. One, Devontae Adams.
Adams. Yeah,
So,
exactly. If
you know,
it's not
you
Adams,
always have to deal with the
you're not
Adams
guaranteed
factor.
points unless you're Adams, right? Basically.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
We're
So go
looking
ahead.
at Huntley. I highlighted Huntley on the list because we already talked about it a little bit. And if Lamar's out, I definitely fire up Huntley. He's a more of a pocket passer versus what was going on with Lamar. But I mean, the whole offense is designed around him. Literally one of the only offenses that I can think of, and even players that are really the offense is designed around. Not even Kyler Murray, K1. It's not designed. He's more of a pocket passer, even compared to Lamar. I think you know what I mean. To me,
Yeah.
um,
Well, I mean, he came in and threw 20 he completed 27 of 38 passes for 270 yards, one touchdown. He had 6 carries for 45 yards on the ground. Serviceable, not bad. Where he came up short was his ball security. He lost 2
yeah.
fumbles, minus, 2 points. If not, he would have come in and put up over 20 points um
And I
in
don't think that's
relief.
going to
He
happen
didn't
this
even
next
start
game.
the game. Yeah, he didn't even start the game. So, he's playing against Green Bay next. They're definitely gonna have to throw, to stay
Good
up with
defense.
them. There is no running game. Green Bay could be expecting, Jair Alexander back, as well as their other, corner or safety, I believe that's out as well too. So again, could be, one of those options you can go to.
Yeah,
Would you
I'm
prefer Huntley
thinking if
over
he's
someone
there,
like
he's out, and you could get him, fire him up. That's basically
would
what I'm saying. If he's
would
one of the
you
guys that's on the waiver wire, would I take him and start him? Yeah.
Would you start him, Huntley over Big Ben, Tannehill, or,
Over
Justin
Tannehill, yes.
Fields?
Over Fields, yes. Not over Ben.
And
Let's
and
throw
not
him there
over
right
Ben,
there.
though. Okay, so I just wanted to kinda revisit that question earlier.
Yeah, no, I know
Um,
where you're going with that because we were talking about these guys earlier, and that's where I draw the
absolutely.
line, honestly. And I not just because I hold Big Ben, because I've seen the history and what's happened with Big Ben, and I know that
Right.
this is what the guy does. Like I know he's old and slow and whatever now, but don't get it twisted. He still gets his fantasy points in there. And
Right.
that's what matters. That's what we're talking about here. At the end of the day, the guy scores his fantasy points. And I'll bet that dollar on over him over the other guys for sure.
There it is. Fireman Justin, who came in with the question earlier, he said, "Well, thanks anyway, guys. He's still subbed. My lunch is over in 10. He's been joining us, so we
Oh
appreciate
yeah.
it. Make sure you hit that
But
description
you were
and
back
come
to that one.
join."
I thought that was pretty
Yeah,
good.
no, I wanted to put that up there.
Good looking
Yeah,
out, man.
I don't,
Good looking out.
I. It almost sounds like maybe we even missed his question or something, but I went
Oh, that
back. I
was
didn't really
earlier.
see it. Yeah, so that's what I want to say is we appreciate the sub for sure. If you end up coming back and watching this when you get off, hit us up in the description. We have all of our, information in there to reach us. If you do have a specific question, you can join our sleeper community. It's a private channel down in there. Hit the description and check it out. We'd, love to have you back and hope to see you on future shows. So yeah, I definitely wanted to get to that. So where else are we at here?
I want to throw this in here. I'm not even sure what hand this is. It just caught my
Wilson.
attention. Wilson,
What round
what
does
round
Cordell?
does
Yeah.
Cordero Pounder with cheese get drafted into next redraft next season? It just makes me cry for you just believing that.
Yeah.
That's
I
an
can't answer
interesting
that
question.
right
Too early
now.
to
Just
tell to
gonna
even answer that. However,
Yeah, I can't answer
I'm
that.
going to tell you, he's still going to be out of my top 10. Because Cordero
Oh yeah,
Patterson is
for
old
sure.
and he's been doing this for a while, and I don't think it's going to continue. I think if this
Yeah,
is one of those one-off seasons and it won't repeat.
they're gonna blow that team up. So um yeah. Dim Boys was saying he was hearing rumors that they're gonna put Swift on IR. And yeah, I just didn't really tell Frank when he was in this state of mood, but they were definitely throwing around the
Man,
fact of
don't
him
break my
being on
heart.
IR.
I'm almost
So yeah.
feeling that. Hold on.
I know that's what I'm saying. I didn't really want to bring that up.
I heard
But
good
since
news
you
about him
did,
earlier today. What are you
no,
talking
no,
about? He
no.
might be on
Yeah,
IR.
that's why I wanted to leave you on that. So they were talking about that there, but that information did come out today, but I think that's more gamesmanship. I'm not expecting
I
it.
think
That's the difference between
that's
Swift
BS,
and
man.
Cook.
Swift
I don't know.
starting.
Yeah, Cook misses one game. They throw his arm in a harness. He runs for 205 and 2 touchdowns in basically 3 quarters.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Swift hurts
saying.
his shoulder. He goes on IR for 3 weeks. I mean, it's just is what it is. Of course,
Yeah.
right after I trade for him. So apologize to all the Swift owners out there. Rasta Reaper
No. He's
strikes
coming
yet
back.
again.
He's coming back. Calm down. I want to
Exactly.
talk about Swift
At
on
this point, when Darnold is healthy, he has to start again for the Panthers. Do you think, or am I wrong? So obviously the Cam Newton experience, I'm back. He's back, and I think everybody realized why they got rid of you at this point. Is it that bad, or am I overreacting to that?
I think he almost had a win this week, but as they've shown, I'm out of here by the way. That Cam has not won the game. Now it's the 12th consecutive game with Carolina.
Yeah, 15 completions on 23 attempts, 178 yards with a pick. He does that carry for 10 times for 47 yards. Gets another touchdown on the ground, but does have 2 fumbles, loses one. Again, with that interception, it comes in at only 12.82 points against the lowly Falcons defense. So if he can
Wow.
only put up 12 points against the Falcons, he's playing probably the
You're
worst
Dunzo, right?
schedule. Yeah, he's playing the worst schedule over the next 3 games in the playoffs. He's playing against Buffalo, against Tampa Bay, and against New Orleans.
Ooh,
So for fantasy
ooh, that's brutal.
purposes,
That sounds brutal.
get him off your team.
Yeah, don't roll with him. Make sure and hit that like button, gents, and subscribe. This is the show. Is that what he put up there? That's
There it
what I'm
goes.
talking about, Wilson. This is the show, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm on a little bus tonight, so that's all good. Matt Rule said Donald is going to definitely be a factor down the stretch today. And yeah, I mean we agree. If Donald comes back, it might be somebody, but
No,
it's
I'm
definitely not Cam.
still not starting Darnold against that three
Yeah,
trio
against anybody. I mean, we're just
of
saying Cam's
defenses.
done, and he's still going to play both Cam and Walker. He said, "How could Joe Brady do that to him? That's That's funny.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And Tycoon, what's up, man? Just going back to this one here, and yeah, they're saying that he's going to play both of them. Obviously, saying Walker knows the 2 minute offense better. That's why whenever they go in the hurry up or you know uh, into the game, end of halves, you're going to see PJ Walker in there over Newton. We'll see if that remains that way. Maybe Walker takes over full time. But like I said, I'm pretty much feeding everybody on Carolina with the lineup that they have to face. Again, going against Buffalo, Tampa Bay, and New Orleans. Probably the top 3 defenses in the league. So it's a kind of tough pool there. So yeah.
Oh wow, we just lost Anthony like all of a sudden. That was kind of crazy. Yeah, stuck to with me. I think we were gonna close out the show anyways, regardless. And I'm on the wrong setup here. Of course, don't have drunk Frank lead the show at the end, but we'll keep it rolling, right? We got more comments coming in. Listen, Cam should move RB for the Panthers. LOL, and he should. At this point, he might be a good RB for them. Oh, look, Anthony's back. I was trying to hold it down. I was going to tell him, hey, we're about to close down anyways. Getting late in the night. And we're a minute and a half. An hour and
Yeah, I
a
don't know what
half
the last
almost
thing
in.
you heard was, but I tried to close out a window, and apparently I closed out
The whole
our
show.
stream window.
Your
Yeah,
stream.
I'm glad I didn't in the stream completely. It just removed myself. So yeah, so a couple names. I don't know how far you got on the list, but a couple names that I want to talk
I didn't
about on
continue
here.
this. Go ahead.
Okay, so a couple guys I just want to mention here. One guy in particular, Dearness Johnson. Again, with the injury news with Hunt, dealing with that ankle. He's one Chubb injury, tweaked ankle away from being the RB1 again on that team. So he's definitely somebody that I would be looking at to pick up right now if anyone dropped them. Since Chubb and since Hunt did come back. So if he's out on waivers, I would definitely spend a couple fab dollars. Maybe you could wait, pick him up for free if
I
people aren't
heard
really
Hunt's
thinking about
going to
him.
be held out.
Yeah. So like I said, he's definitely someone, right now you're looking for, handcuffs and not so much handcuffs for your own team because you and I were just kind of discussing this. We're in the playoffs now. Most likely your guy's going to get hurt
You
in
need
the
to
game.
lock up your next guy.
Yeah, it's if somebody else's guy goes out, you want to have that guy's, guy heading into the next week. To have that option to play. So those are the
It's about
guys.
dirty boxing right now. It's inside dirty
Yeah.
boxing right now.
Yeah. So
I
having
mean, you
your
don't have
own.
to, but I mean, hey, doesn't hurt if you can.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. There's always the COVID situation. It could have just easily been reversed. Cook could have come back and had COVID instead of Madison, and now Madison would have been the number one, start this week with Cook being out on the COVID list. So it definitely
Hope
could
not
go
this whole
either.
COVID situation going into the
Yeah,
next
it
week.
could go either way. But then the problem with
It
that
helped
is if
me
you
out
have both
really
running
good.
backs. Yeah, so if both backs go out though, then you have to worry about, now you don't have anyone if you're holding that handcuff. So again, just depends on what your kind of personal preference and philosophies are. So
Yeah,
Drunk Squidward, he's saying, do we have any waiver pickups? I guess, we're about an hour and a half into it. We should talk about some of them. We are kind of going through some of them, here. So again, probably the number one guy you want to have on waivers is make sure Osborne's taken. You want to make sure you have, like I said, Dearness Johnson. I really like, of
Rashad
course, Rashad
Penny,
Penny. I think he's our number one.
super low owned.
Uh,
Definitely pick
yeah,
him up.
overall. We also have guys like Nico Collins had a nice performance. Rookie, again, maybe this far in the year, getting more comfortable. Just to see what he
Davis
might do.
Mills, if you need a QB.
Yep, Davis Mills is out there. He had a nice game, looked pretty good. Probably more so in super flex leagues. I wouldn't be, starting Davis Mills over Dak or anything like that. I'm not trying to get that cute. Definitely got to keep your eye on Corey Clement. We saw him basically split carries with Zeke. And then, of
Yeah.
course, they kind of sat Zeke and then had to throw him back in there again once they kind of started making that comeback.
Corey Clement is
Um,
not Pollard. Pollard will be back next week. Don't worry about
yeah,
that.
no, and I don't know. That whole plantar fascia thing has me interested. Another guy you might want to look at that may have been dropped or kind of forgotten about, Gainwell
Game up.
with the Eagles. Take a look at him. Obviously, Rashad Bateman, after he put up that 0 last week, if anybody dropped him out of
2
spite,
big
I
weeks
know
in a
Frank
row.
did a couple
Terrible
places.
terrible score. I'm not touching that guy
Yeah,
again.
now he gets his 100-yard game.
Unless
You were
Huntley
all for.
plays. If Huntley plays, take him to the bank.
Ooh, so there's his caveat. So there it is, another name. Amon-Ra St. Brown. I'm not really kind of, I know his name's kind of being thrown out there. I'm not drinking that Detroit juice. Again, I'm not really touching anyone on,
No, 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 no,
some
no, no,
specific
don't do that.
teams. And that's definitely a piece I'm not trying to get. But of course, his name's out there. Mr. One Droppy Anderson. Robbie Anderson, if
Back
he's
in
out
there.
there,
Mr.
maybe you
Droppy.
take a, yeah, maybe you take a flyer on him. But again, I mentioned the defenses they're going to be facing. So, like I said, I'm pretty much fading all Carolina guys, but he did have a nice game. So, again, just kind of keep your eye on that. Michael Carter, he is expected back. So, if anybody did drop him heading into the playoffs, take a look at him. And then we have, other guys, kind of like Russell Gage, who Drunk Squidward here is talking about. He's going to get some targets, in that offense. I know they play San Francisco next week. They're definitely vulnerable through the air. So, I think he's, okay, wide receiver 3 or flex if you're in a, situation where you have somebody, that went down. Um, Demir Bird, I'm not really feeding too much into that. He and Jakeem Grant, there's still Allen Robinson and Darnell Mooney, who had a kind of quiet game after having, 2 pretty big games. So just kind of that Chicago offense. I'm not sure who to really trust there yet. And definitely not putting any trust in those guys heading into my fantasy playoffs.
But if you
Um,
got to start somebody, pick somebody up. That's why we're mentioning them.
yeah, absolutely. There's all different kind of leagues, so we definitely want to mention a couple honorable mentions here. Cam Sims with the Washington football team has a touchdown, I think, in the last 2 games. Big body receiver, maybe coming into his own. Maybe we're witnessing a breakout. Obviously, have to worry about Heineke. He's dealing with some injuries there. We saw
Don't think
Kyle
about that.
Allen
He's about to face
make an
Dallas again
appearance.
in another
Yeah,
week, and it won't matter.
so we'll see what happens there. Another guy,
And
Donovan
and,
Peoples
and and those
Jones.
benches do matter. I wanted to bring this up. The benches do matter
Oh,
because
as far as the
Seattle
Cowboys
mentioned
being
it
in the
to
bench.
Cowboys. Said, "Hey, we were just at Washington, and their benches don't warm up. Dallas literally had benches made, manufactured, shipped over there so they could save on a warm bench, and it worked out. The Dallas won. Just saying.
Yeah, exactly. Um, let's see.
Sorry, just thought you on that. Michael
Yeah, I know I
Carter
was on like a
suspended
roll. I
back.
don't
You're
know
all
exactly
good.
where we were.
I had to slow you down
Uh,
on a little bit on
I
that,
think
dude.
I
You already
was.
talked about everybody. You already covered everybody. We're ready to
Yeah, I
go
just
home.
wanted to give us a nice
All
little
right. What do we
quick.
got? Alex Collins is dropped now. Yes, he's a drop now. Actually, hold him just in case one more week. But why would you drop him? Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, if it don't drop people just to drop them, but if there's somebody out there, then there it is.
Russell Gage, a good pickup. Yes, he's a good pickup now.
Yep, we are talking about that, and yeah, so I think we're caught up.
That's it.
So yeah,
We're
why
good.
not? We'll call it a night. So
We're doing
we
it.
appreciate it,
Yeah.
guys.
Dang, bro. What's up? What's up?
Yeah, show's over
Cheers,
before it
brother.
gets
Cheers.
crazy. There was I think you're here for it, Wilson, but there's a nice little tirade in there. We should have took down the minute mark on that one, but he went off there, so that was pretty good.
Take that out
You
of
had to
the
have your moment.
way.
You had to have your moment. Yeah, I remember that old school
Hey,
days.
but it's all good. Hey, all I'm saying is if you're drunk, if you're fucking sick, stay the fuck home. It's not that rocket science. That's all I'm saying.
He'll end it on that. So yeah, man. So for Dustin, for Mike, classic Mike,
That's it, Mike.
for you,
Where do you
Frank.
finish? He's not in there. Did he
Yeah,
make
he's
the
down there
playoff?
at the bottom. For myself, for all of you who made the
Riding high.
playoffs, shout out to you. Hopefully you've been watching. Maybe we helped you, whether you're going with us, against us, against one of us. either way, whatever and however we could have helped you get to where you're at, or
Much
even if
love.
we didn't, we appreciate you just hanging out with us, talking some football. Good luck to you here next week. Again, unless
Yeah,
you're the
we'll be
people playing
back.
against
It's
me.
not over.
Yeah, unless you're playing against me. I don't. But otherwise, we'll see you Wednesday. We'll see how these waivers shake out. We'll give you that update on the listener league, see what these playoff matchups are going to be,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
we'll see how it goes, man. I'm
Yeah,
so
yeah.
excited to hit this refresh button and see how these brackets line up heading into next week. So again, congratulations to everybody out there. It was a
Let's
long
go.
and fun season. I already can't wait for week 1, 2022. For those of you out there, have a good one, man. We're out.
Peace out. Like and subscribe.